keep going and ink some stuff up here. So hopefully the video will be okay and everyone can follow along and we can all chit chat about pens. Okay, so here is my quick trio or quartet, thank you, sorry, of items today. We have the Pilot Iroshizuku Ainaho. I have selected Rice Ear is actually because we used it in our Fall into Colors blog post that went up last week, and it's a very nice like toasty brown with nice shading, so I thought it would be a good choice to show off today. So we have some Ainaho, and look at this. Back in the day when, that's right, $20 for this gorgeous thing. And the reason for that is because they have like improved the bottle manufacturing process. So you get the same fabulous ink, same sexy box, and also this adorable little thing so you can like pull your bottle around. Anyway, I also have a Pilot Parallel 6mm, and I'm going to be using this Con 50 converter. Now, the new converters are actually the Con 40, so it looks the same, does the same thing. The only difference, wait, I'm switching to this. The only difference is that the new ones have little ball agitators in them to help improve your ink flow. Not that I've ever had any issues with the Con 50, but anyway. Let's open this up, ink this up. I'm gonna do some inking here. I know that the video is kind of going in and out, so hopefully we are all keeping up. I'm not really sure why it's doing that, other than the ballpoint demons out there. In my notebook, the Maruman Mnemosyne number 195. This is a lovely notebook. Look at all this beautiful inky stuff I have done in this from previous live shows. Oh, so fun. Okay. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, let's do some writing with this Pilot. Now, usually what I do to get this going right away is I just touch it like that on the page just to make sure once I've just inked it. Okay, now the thing with Ainaho is it's a really bizarre like brownish green, sort of. Oh, you know, I had told myself today I was going to try to do Unshul, but Unshul? Uncle? But this is some sort of blend of all sorts of things, so I am sorry that my calligraphy script is a complete disaster. The Rice Ear, my goodness, it is beautiful. Excellent shading. It's like a golden brown yellow. This is the 6mm. And you can tell because there's a sticker on top, but my sticker has a blob on it. So this is where it would say 6mm, but this is so hardcore used, this pen, that it has other things on it. Here's how you can know. The blue is 6mm. And the other three, you've got like the orange, which is 2.4mm, and a nice light green, 3.8, and a red, which is the 1.5. So here we have the 6mm. And if you want to buy just one parallel, you must get the 6mm. But you should get the whole set because it's crazy to only get one. And they're only $10. Okay, so the thing was that I was going to use Ainaho and do some like really amazing calligraphy, and then everyone will be like, "Oh, I want a Pilot Parallel 6mm in Ainaho," but this is what I produced, and so it's not that amazing. So let's try that again. Just for the record, I am not like, oh, that looks like a J. Okay, keep going. I'm not a formally trained calligrapher. I have no idea what I'm doing, except that I just like to play around with letters. And I think I've mixed like two styles here. This started out as like Old English, and then it turned into sort of like a Gothic black letter, but it's not good at all. Okay, well, since someone, namely SBRE Brown, is being chatty in there,
hello.
Thank you, I'm going to write your name. But just Brown, because SBRE Brown is ridiculous. So this, oh shoot, this was supposed to be my unsil attempt. Unsil? Uncle. Okay. This is so bad, isn't it? Oh boy. Are you guys all laughing at your screens right now? Okay. The thing is, I'm not very good at, oh, this is just so wrong. I'm just not really good at this. The thing is, I find that I'm better with doing small uncial letters, not really big ones, and I think that was just too big. So let's try that again. I'm going to do a B, an R, an O, a W. Oh my goodness, this is so bad. Okay, now let's look at the beautiful color of ink here. Okay, there we go. It's a really nice, like toasted rice ear. So when I think of like toasted or fried rice, I kind of picture this like nice brownish color. The ink is a little green. It has a bit of like a yellow green tint to it. And it's really nice. Yes, Janine makes an excellent point. You can use the side of your parallel for thin strokes. So let's say we're going to make an O. Wait, for an O, I actually need lines. So I'm going to turn the page. I'm going to do like one of those O's with the stuff in the middle. Oh, I let it dry out too much. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. Oh, this is so bad. See, so you could do that. You can go like this. You can go like that. That's supposed to be an O. Does it look like an O? You want the Tardif test. You know what? That's actually kind of doable, except, what's the Tardif test again? Was it with your little sword? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I don't have the sword, so I'm just going to go like this. This is my Tardif sword. And I'm being artistic of sorts. Oh, that's not actually really artistic. But that's a pretty nice demonstration of what the ink looks like. It's really a nice ink, and it's so strange, but oh, come on, the brown benchmark. That's a messy one. It's a nice ink because it's like you kind of look at the bottle and you think, oh, okay, like the box is just kind of like brown, but okay, I'm going to do the brown benchmark. This is not a good idea. Don't ever dip your finger in a bottle of ink.
The brown benchmark.
Oh, there's ink everywhere. The ink is Pilot Iroshizuku, the Ainaho. And the funny thing is, yeah, it's just, I remember I actually bought the entire Iroshizuku set just because I was weird, and at the time I really liked them and I wanted every single one. And I know everyone else wants every single one too still. But yeah, it was just a color that I just never really understood. And then I put it in a parallel. No, Idaho, not Idaho. Look how nice that brown benchmark looks. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. I see why that was the determining test for ink of sorts. I really like it. So my point was that I had gotten this ink and I just really didn't understand like why you would, I'm just doodling in the corner, why you would want like a brown, but it's actually really awesome. And since then I have been kind of like converted to brown inks because they seem understated, and then it turns out they're usually quite gorgeous. Like they have like beautiful shading and nice sheen and stuff. Idaho. Look at that. It's almost like an olive green at the center, and then it spreads out into like a lighter toasted brown. It's just such a complex color. It is brown. It is brown. This is definitely a brown, but it's like a light toasted brown. Kind of like a roasted marshmallow, like it has that nice green outside, but with a touch of yellowish in it. Kind of like a toasted green tea. Okay, like a hojicha. Hojicha. Anyway. So you kind of get the picture here with my rambling, that the conclusion is I think it's a really lovely color that is totally underrated and not enough people love it enough, and it deserves more love. I like to do this at the bottom of my letters to give it a bit more saturation. It does look quite green, and the funny thing is it is a brown, but it's like a bizarre toasty brown. I would call it a brown. A greenish brown. But that's the fun thing about colorful inks. Like, you get all sorts of weird colors you would never expect, and it's just so unique. I don't really know many other colors that look like this. Yes, rice ear. Yeah. Though your rice is normally earless. I guess at some point it has an ear. It likes to listen. It's a listening rice. But it's so beautiful. I think it's really nice. Paired often with the pelican white tortoise. That would be truly stellar, because the pelican does have like that nice striated greenish golden thing that probably picks up really well with these colors. So good choice. Now, let's see how much ink I have left in here, because I've made quite a mess. Oh, there's still some in there. I see a question about an ink here. Can I compare it to another brand color? The Quasi Honey is much darker and more saturated. I find I get more shading out of this one than the Quasi inks. The Quasi Honey does. I'm just writing honey. It does remind me of the Robert Oster... Two of the colors, actually, the gold Antiqua and the bronze, which shade just unbelievable shading in those two inks. So maybe what I will do is put those two inks aside for the next show, and we can, or next Friday's show, and we can take a look at what all three of them look like side by side. You got it for your white torty. You haven't inked it yet. Ooh, you absolutely must ink it, because now I'm going to have to go, when I wrap up here, I'm going to go and ink my white torty with the same ink as well. So we can all be inky samers. And in case anyone is curious, I'm writing the name of the paper in a horrible, horrible way. So look, you can also use the edge and have a nice small line. This is Maruman Mnemosyne. And again, it's the 195. Super nice notebook, really enjoyable to use for fountain pens. It handles show through really well, and this is not bleed through. This is because I turned the page when it was wet. So it's the bleed through is very minimal, no feathering, and great shading. And if your ink has sheen, it does show up. So it's a really definitely fountain pen friendly. All right. Well, I hoped we enjoyed Idaho, or rice ear. That was horrendous writing. I just wanted to show it to you and see what you think of it. So if you do something with Idaho, ink it up a bit, make sure to tag us so we can see it at Anderson Pens. And that wraps up our Friday Idaho Pilot Parallel Maruman and Pilot Converter thingy-majiggy. So that's all. And we will see you next Tuesday. Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye-bye.